the fuck was that noise? We're not at the Krampus episode yet.
Oh, but we will be.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Ghosty Girls podcast.
Welcome back.
We hope you're enjoying all of our podcast episodes so far.
If you're not, fuck you.
Yeah, if we're not, you can get the fuck out.
Just kidding. We love you. Please stay.
Yeah, please stay. We need the views.
We'll
I'm
buy
just
you
kidding.
a Starbucks. Just kidding. I can't afford it. I'll cold brew you stuff at home.
I haven't even been looking at our stats or anything. I'm just giving it all to God. Isn't that what the religious people say? I'm letting go and letting God. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess we're doing all right.
I think we should say Dolly take the wheel.
Oh yeah.
Dolly take
Yeah,
the wheel.
let Dolly take the wheel.
She's got this.
But yeah, if you're enjoying it, hop on YouTube, leave us a comment. You can always leave us a review on Apple. Trying to think of what else. Oh, you can leave us a Facebook review.
Spotify?
Yeah.
Does that work on there?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't use Spotify. I listen to all my podcasts on Apple just because it's easier.
Yeah, I do Apple or YouTube typically.
Yeah, same. I like YouTube. I mean, even though it's kind of a pain in the dick sometimes, but
I like it.
yeah, same. Let me take a
Little sip of the Dolly.
Speaking of God and churches and all that, I have a wild case today that has kept me up at night, many a nights, mainly because it's unsolved.
Should I bless it? Amen.
Oh, Jesus.
Amen.
Well, it does take place in a church.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
We're definitely not getting any
See
more
the little
listeners
baby.
now.
Lying in a manger. You know that song.
I don't.
No.
I can't say that I do. I know some other church songs just from going to church with my Grammy when I was little, but that's all.
Amen. No, I'm just kidding. Bring everyone to tears with my beautiful voice. You can take that whole song out.
You've come to church today, y'all. Welcome to the Church of the Ghosty Girls.
We're gonna preach. Everyone, I'm gonna need you to take your seats, take your titties out, and relax. Here's what we're gonna talk about today on this episode. I don't know, Christina, you're gonna take it from here.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, I shouldn't say that. We're in church.
Lord, I'm gonna ask for forgiveness from my friend over here.
Oh, my God, you sound like Jim Jones.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to have to do a podcast on Jim Jones. He's my favorite cult leader.
You write it and I'll read it in that voice.
Have you ever listened to the Jim Jones death tapes from
I
Jonestown?
haven't listened to any.
Holy fucking shit.
No. Did he sound like that?
Yes, he did.
Should we start a cult then?
Like
Like a nice cult with like butterflies and rainbows.
I
and
don't really
unicorns
think
and
that there's
glitter.
a such thing as a nice cult.
Well, let's fucking make one.
I think it would be group.
Ghosty girl glitter cult.
Yeah. I think cult by definition is negative.
Is it negative or is it looked at in a negative light? It's negative. I'm just
Ladies
kidding.
and gentlemen, Alicia for you.
Unicorns, glitter, rainbow.
But yeah, we digress. Today, I am going to talk about the unsolved murder of Missy Bevers.
Stop.
Yeah. Last name is Bevers. You know what's crazy, though, is it's spelled Bevers, Bevers. So I always thought it was Bevers, like when I would read about it, but it's Bevers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So on the morning of Monday, April 18th, 2016 at 5 a.m., a member of Camp Gladiator showed up for the scheduled fitness class at the Creekside Church of Christ in Midlothian, Texas. They were expecting to participate in an intense workout provided by their instructor, Leann Bevers, who also went by the name of Missy. So I'm going to call her Missy from here on out because that's what she was known as, Missy.
Got it.
Instead of finding their instructor, Missy, ready and pumped up with a smile on her face, they found the body of the 45-year-old wife and mother laying in a huge pool of blood with broken glass scattered all over the floor. So, before we get into the murder, let's take a moment to discuss the victim, Missy Bevers. Missy was born on August 9th, 1970, in Graham, Texas. I hope I said that right. It's Graham, like Teddy Grahams.
Love them.
But is it like Graham or I don't know. I'm going to say Graham, Texas. Right?
Just say Graham.
Okay.
If you live in Texas and actually are listening to us, let us know.
Yeah. Let me know if I fucked it up.
What are the chances we have one listener in Texas?
0.
I'm going to give it a 0.01%. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a maybe. So Missy was born to parents Norma and James Strickland. She was the middle child and had an older brother named Clifford and a younger brother named Clint. In 1995, Missy obtained a Bachelor of Science degree from the Tarleton State University and then went back to school to get her teaching certificate in special education after marrying her husband, Brandon Bevers, in 1998. Together, Missy and Brandon had 3 daughters named Hannah, Allie, and Sarah. Missy was very religious. She loved being a mother, and she also loved fitness. She was very, very passionate about it. Missy was in the best physical shape of her life. Yeah, she was feeling amazing. She was looking amazing. And she became a Camp Gladiator instructor to share her passion for fitness with others. So she went to that church that morning thinking that she was going to be doing something that she absolutely loved. And she essentially walked right into her own death. Yeah. After Missy's beaten body was discovered in the church, 911 dispatchers were called immediately. Police were then dispatched at 5:03 a.m. and arrived at the church at 5:10 a.m. Missy was pronounced dead at the scene, suffering multiple puncture wounds to her head and chest.
Her head?
Yeah, so she was essentially bludgeoned to death. Yeah.
Oh.
Her official cause of death and autopsy report have never been released to the public. All we know is that she had several, quote, puncture wounds. That's it. So we can only assume at this point that there was some kind of a blunt object, like maybe a hammer or something was used. And you'll see why I say hammer in a minute. Now, as the investigation began, police discovered that there was actually video surveillance cameras inside of the church. And the video that they were able to recover is some of the most disturbing surveillance footage I have personally ever seen.
You saw it?
It's chilling. Yeah.
Ugh.
You can find it on YouTube. You can basically find it anywhere. Just look up, the surveillance footage of Missy Bevers.
I'm not going to do
it. It doesn't show the actual murder.
Okay.
But I'm going to describe what it shows, and that's creepy enough. On the morning of Monday, April 18, 2016, surveillance video obtained from the Creekside Church of Christ shows someone breaking into the church at 3:50 a.m. This person is dressed head to toe in police tactical gear, and they are seen pacing from room to room in the church, brandishing a hammer as well as some type of tool for breaking into doors. At one point in the video, the suspect is actually seen breaking a window. Now, we're not sure if they did this so that it looked like a burglary, but it's important to note that the church confirmed that nothing was taken. And it was also confirmed that Missy's wedding ring was still on her finger and that nothing was stolen from her car, which was found unlocked in the parking lot because she had parked her car to start bringing in all of the equipment for her class. Nothing was taken out of that car.
And fitness equipment
it can be expensive. Yeah. But from what I read, her phone, everything was in her car. Why, if this was, a random robbery, would nothing be taken? It's just throwing that out there. Yeah, this detail bothered me, but then in my research, it kept coming up over and over that this was a very safe community with little to no crime, and this was certainly not a town that was known for homicides. In fact, Midlothian has a crime rate that is 3.7 times lower than the U.S. national average. So this wasn't a town that people would be afraid to live in. Like, this isn't something that was common. With all of this in mind, the general consensus was that Missy was the intended target and that the motive was her murder, not burglary. So, for about 30 minutes, the surveillance footage shows this person roaming around the church aimlessly. And unfortunately, due to the disguise that this person was wearing, it's pretty much impossible to tell if the intruder is a male or female. They have a helmet on and everything. The only distinguishing quality is the very distinctive gait that the person displays while they are walking around the church in the footage. Now, this person walks with their feet pointed outward. So their feet aren't straight. When they're walking, they're like split. One goes to the left, one goes to the right, which is weird. And it also looks like they walk with what looks to be a small limp. Despite not being able to determine many physical features of the suspect, it is estimated that this person is between 5'2" and 5'8".
It's a woman. I'm just kidding.
So,
take that out.
Oh, no.
Take that out.
No, leave that in. I'm leaving it in because I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
So, yeah, the person's between 5'2", 5'8", not a super tall person. Cannot stress this enough. The surveillance footage is creepy as fuck. And just knowing that Missy probably saw this person and thought they were a police officer, like someone who you would assume that you're safe around,
right? That
makes it even more terrifying to me. Like, this person is even wearing a bulletproof vest with the word police written on the back.
That's weird.
It's wild. If you guys haven't watched the footage, watch it. It will give you the chills. It looks like a legit police officer in tactical gear just walking around aimlessly. Like, it's so fucking bizarre.
Quoting Christina, I don't love that.
I don't love it. No. In fact, I hate it. So approximately 30 minutes after the suspect breaks into the church, Missy is seen on surveillance entering the church at about 4:20 a.m. And apparently she would arrive early to set up and get ready for people to show up for class. So this was not anything that was uncommon. And it's also something that, if people knew her schedule, they knew she would have been at that church.
Mm-hmm.
At 4:35, the person who ultimately found Missy, the first person to show up for her class, they arrive and they wait in the church parking lot. So for about 25 minutes, this person sits in their car. Then at 5 a.m., this person enters the building and finds Missy dead and then calls 911. Now, in my research, I could not find any information as to who this person was that first showed up at class and found Missy dead. There's no evidence to show that this person had anything to do with it. So just wanted to squash that potential theory. They were seen on surveillance going in at 5 a.m. So it's proven that this person did not, go into the church and lie about it. Cause that's the first thing I thought. I was like, did this person do it? Yeah. No, was definitely not them. Now, one of the most frustrating things about this case is that the outside surveillance cameras were not working at the time of the murder.
Of course they weren't.
I know. So no one was seen going into the church from the outside. No one was seen leaving. If these surveillance cameras outside of the church worked, this murder probably would be solved by now, which is so fucking frustrating. In addition to the inside surveillance video pulled from the church, investigators also obtained footage from a nearby SWFA sporting goods store just hours before the murder. And these cameras captured a Nissan Altima driving around the parking lot, which was strange considering the sporting goods store wasn't open at that time. So were they driving around to kill time before the murder? We don't know. Apparently, a dark SUV was also captured on surveillance leaving the church parking lot around 4:30 a.m. the morning of Missy's murder. Unfortunately, no one has come forward as to the owners of these two cars. So that's a dead end.
Shit.
Now, police have never said that these people were persons of interest, but they do want to find out who was driving these cars to see if they saw anything.
They could have key details that they don't even realize could break the case wide open, right?
Or it could have been the car of the intruder.
Well, that too.
We don't know.
Duh.
Yeah. Now, apparently there was some initial confusion regarding Missy's death, and Missy's husband's sister, so Missy's sister-in-law, named Christy Stout, told Dateline that her mother told her over the phone that Missy had actually been involved in a car crash. I don't even, weird. The mother said that she was going to go be with Missy, and she asked Christy to go to Missy's home to be with her children because Missy's children were at her house. She said it wasn't until later that investigators told the family that Missy was found murdered in the church. In other sources, it is reported that it was Brandon, Missy's husband, that relayed the incorrect information to the family. I'm sure it's irrelevant, but I just personally thought that the whole thing was a little strange. Like, I don't know, just a weird detail.
Well, did he think she was in a car accident? Did somebody just say, oh, she's hurt, and he just assumed?
Don't know.
Weird.
It is weird. Now, I know at this point everyone is thinking, yeah, where was the husband? Because we always look at the husband first, right? So Missy's husband, Brandon Bevers, whom she was with for almost 20 years, was ultimately cleared by police after his alibi completely checked out. Brandon was actually away on his annual fishing trip in Mississippi and provided police with all of the receipts. So he had his plane ticket, his rental car receipt, everything. So her husband, Brandon, clearly was not the person in the video. While being questioned by authorities, Brandon described his marriage as happy and healthy with no problems. However, this was far from the truth, as we so often see, right? Mm-hmm. Police immediately searched Missy's phone and found messages on her LinkedIn account that were, quote, flirtatious and familiar in nature. Apparently, these messages began in January of 2016, just 3 months prior to her murder, and these were deleted by Missy, but police were able to partially recover some of the messages. Not all of them, but some. The details of these messages and who she was messaging with is unfortunately not public knowledge. So we don't know all that much about it. We just know that there were some messages.
Okay.
So this has led people to believe that Missy was most likely having an affair, or at the very least was having an emotional affair with someone. So maybe not a physical one, but she was talking inappropriately to someone. Yeah. Which in turn could have provided motive for several people. What if she, pissed off her affair partner or her affair partner's wife? What if someone found out? What if Missy's husband found out? What if Missy's husband's family found out and it pissed them off? So down the rabbit hole we go. A search warrant executed on Missy's phone revealed several text messages between her and Brandon, indicating that they were having many issues in their marriage, including both financial problems as well as, quote, intimate/personal relationships external to the marriage. So this would lead me to believe that one of, if not both of them, was having an affair.
Just, if you're not happy,
fucking leave.
Fucking leave.
Yeah.
Just come out and say it.
Yeah. It's not worth it. I mean, just because, if this is the kind of shit that can happen. I mean, we don't know what happened, but I have a strong feeling that it had something to do with that. I don't think it was random. I don't.
No.
But we'll get into that.
Okay.
So yeah, they were having financial problems, they were having marital problems, intimate problems, all kinds of issues. Now, Brandon has since denied that they had any financial issues, but he did confirm that an affair, quote, came to light in 2014, but he states that they were working through it. It's not known if he was the one having the affair or if she was the one having the affair, but an affair was confirmed. Other than that, we don't know.
Like you said, they probably were both running around.
Yeah, something was going on. Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. According to an affidavit obtained by the Dallas Morning News, investigators executed search warrants on the phones of 7 other people in addition to Missy and her husband, and that they believe that the killer may have even used their cell phone to record the murder. Why would they believe that? There's something we don't know. That's a very random thing.
This is all saying like police corruption to me.
Something is fucking weird, and we'll get into the police corruption thing.
Oh, shit.
Because that's an aspect of this. That's some people theorize something that involves police. So we'll get into that. So also in the affidavit was the mention that police believe Missy was in contact with her killer at some point and that she did know her killer. A friend of Missy's told investigators that Missy had showed her a message from a man on LinkedIn that they both found, quote, creepy and strange. And this was shortly before the day she was murdered. The friend unfortunately could not remember who the message was from or the name associated with the LinkedIn account. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe someone created that account to fuck with her and scare her before they killed her. I mean, if you're fucked up enough to kill someone, then certainly you're capable of creating an account to fuck with someone, right? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Exactly.
Not sure if the two are related. There are a lot of creepsters on social media. I've gotten weird messages from people before. I mean, there's weirdos. I don't really know how related that was to the murder, but
I hope they searched the IP and stuff, though.
I hope so.
I'm sure they did.
Now, one thing about this murder that we all have to keep in mind is that Missy heavily relied on social media to promote her fitness classes. She was constantly posting on Facebook and LinkedIn with dates, times, and locations of her classes. So it would not have been hard to track her down that day. And unfortunately, when you live online like that, it makes people really easy to find you and really easy for them to figure out your daily patterns. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. And she promoted this class on Facebook, said the time. Apparently there was really bad weather in the area, and they usually did the fitness classes outside, but she had wrote in a Facebook post that they were going to be doing them inside the church. So someone could have easily seen that she would have been inside the church setting up and gone there early to wait for her and ambush her. So we've discussed the husband and the possibility of an affair partner. So let's get into some other theories. Some people have speculated that Brandon's father, Randy Bevers, is actually the suspect that was caught on surveillance. To back up this theory, people have pointed out that on April 22nd, just 4 days after Missy's murder, Randy, and this is her father-in-law, showed up to Dry Clean Supercenter of Midlothian with a shirt that was covered in blood and stated that he was involved in breaking up a dog fight. Of note, the shirt was a woman's white long-sleeved shirt. Now, the dry cleaners thought this was super sus, so they actually contacted the police, which is great that they did that. And the police subsequently issued a search warrant to obtain the shirt. By this point, people in the town were going fucking nuts with gossip about Randy killing his daughter-in-law. Like that, I mean, they just took this information and ran with it. People also pointed out that Randy had an eerily similar gait to the suspect on the surveillance video. And he does. I have seen videos of him walking, and I've also seen the surveillance video. They're similar. So the court of public opinion had spoken, and they were ready to fry this guy. Everyone thought that her father-in-law did it. But Randy's daughter, Christy, confirmed that the dog attack really did happen and that her dad had, in fact, broken up a dog fight. I know you're thinking hearsay and that, of course, your daughter would cover for you, right? But the shirt was ultimately tested, and it was indeed positive for canine blood. Investigators also confirmed the story with the veterinary clinic, who verified that Randy's dog, Kylo...
I like that. That's a cute name.
It is a cute name. But yeah, they verified that Randy's dog, Kylo, who eventually died, was treated there after a fight with another dog at a relative's house. So this was a bust. This was just a very, very sad coincidence. Like, just a bunch of really shitty events for that family. Like, you lose your daughter-in-law, and then your dog dies in a dog fight. Like, yeah. And then people think that you murdered your daughter-in-law.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, though, you probably just throw that shirt away.
I would think. Yeah, I would never. Weird to me. Weird, but, people are weird.
Yeah. God bless them.
So yeah, this was a bust. Randy also had a rock solid alibi, and it was confirmed that he was in California at the time of Missy's murder. So it was definitely not him. He's been cleared. That's a it's dead end.
It's not him.
Yep, definitely not him. Another potential lead that has come up numerous times in this case is a former police officer named Bobby Wayne Henry, who actually worked security at Missy's funeral. He was also allegedly a member of the Creekside Church of Christ, which is where Missy held her classes and where she was murdered. Now, Bobby has a pretty sketchy past, which includes a charge for aggravated sexual assault in 1996, which resulted in him being suspended from the police department. Of note, Bobby has a very similar limp to the suspect in the video.
Fucking Bobby.
Mm-hmm. I've also seen a video of him walking. It looks similar.
What is up with all these people?
I know. It's weird. Bobby has also admitted that he still owns tactical riot gear from his police days, but he's adamant that it doesn't fit anymore. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
That's what I was getting ready to say. So I'm going to need you to try that on.
If you know, you know.
They all know.
With all of this considered, a search warrant was issued which discovered that Bobby was actually in possession of child pornography.
Hate him.
Don't love that. He was subsequently arrested and spent just 70 days in jail.
Are you kidding?
No.
Fuck this guy.
Why are people only getting 70 days in jail for child porn?
They should be put in jail forever. Listen.
There's no... I will say it again. Let's say it for the people in the back. You cannot rehabilitate a child predator.
I told you we were preaching today.
We have taken you to church today. I'm sorry. This is a hill that I will fucking die on. You cannot rehabilitate a sex offender.
Castrate
you
them.
Can't. I mean, I'm sorry. You can't, especially a child predator. They are not rehabilitatable. I'm sorry.
No.
They are not.
No.
Did I just make up a word?
I don't care.
If it's not a word, it needs to be a fucking word.
I do like how you said yeah. Because it sounded like a yeah, I liked that. That was yeah. So
I get real fired up when talking about this shit, especially when I find out that they only spend like 70 days in prison. That's what, like not even 3 months.
Listen.
Fuck that.
I'm gonna put this out there again. If I haven't already, for the first time then, vote for Christina and I for president in 4 years. Because this shit is going to change.
Well, see, and not only am I going to cut your dick off, but I'm going to cut your hands off too, because you can use your hands to assault somebody.
Oh, no.
You're going to be dickless. You're going to be handless. You're just going to be chilling.
They just get murdered. Just fucking kill them.
Wow, that took a turn.
Listen, I don't have any tolerance for this shit.
I like to think of myself as a progressive type person when it comes to rehabilitation. There are things that I can forgive. Child predators, no, absolutely the fuck not. Fuck all child predators. Yeah,
I like that we're on the same page on this one.
Yeah.
Can we agree? Just bullet through the head, be done.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But I want them to suffer more than that.
No.
I suffer the way they make fucking children suffer. We digress. We digress so fucking hard with this one.
Do we know? You're all welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is just... Whenever it comes to kids, I get so fucking fired up.
I get
it. God damn, it pisses me off. So yeah, he was subsequently arrested. He spent less than 3 months in jail, which is bullshit. And despite all of this, unfortunately... I don't know why I said unfortunately, but unfortunately, Bobby's alibi is said to have checked out. He's since been eliminated as a suspect in the murder of Missy Bevers.
That's what I say to that.
That's what I say to that. Stupid. Either way, god damn. Anywho, so as of now, 2024, Missy's case has gone completely cold. Her murderer is still out there walking amongst us, albeit with a prominent limp. But they're still out there living life. We aren't sure if it's a man or a woman. We aren't sure if it's one of Missy's friends or family members. We aren't sure if it's someone she knew from the gym or from her fitness class, or if it's someone that she may have been seeing outside of her marriage. We have no fucking idea. None.
So what if they don't have a limp at all? What if they were just faking it?
Now, One thing that everyone gets hung up on in this case is how the suspect walks with a distinctive gait, with both of their feet pointing outwards. Like maybe they suffered a leg or a foot injury at some point, some kind of a distinctive gait. I've watched the surveillance videos. There is a distinctive gait. There is no negating the gait.
Okay.
But here's my thing. I kept looking at the shoes when this person was walking. The suspect walks with their feet very prominently pointed out. What would cause someone to walk with their feet very prominently pointed out?
If their shoes were
Maybe too big?
too big.
Think of how your kid walks when they put your shoes on and they're too big. They walk pointed out, right? Investigators have said multiple times that the tactical gear that this person is wearing in the surveillance videos is, quote, ill-fitted. I think that this person was wearing shoes that were just like comically too big for them. I also wonder, this person, they went to a great deal to cover up their identity. They wore police tactical gear. So let's say that this wasn't like costume store tactical gear.
It was legit.
Yes, this is something that this person must have ordered online, or they were a police officer themselves at one point, or they knew someone that was a police officer and maybe stole them, but they had access to this. This person was not an idiot. This person knew what they were doing. They went to great lengths to cover their identity. I'm wondering if maybe they purposely wore shoes that were bigger than their feet to cover up footprints, because that would throw investigators off if they found any footprints. They would think, oh, this is a size 13 shoe. Well, if it's someone in a size 9 wearing a 13, that's going to throw people off, right?
Yep.
That was my initial thought with the shoes. I think that limp was due to the shoes being way too fucking big. That's my theory. And that brings me to the next unpopular opinion. And I've done a lot of research on this case. I've gone through Reddit threads. I've read articles. I've watched interviews with, police. This is definitely an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I think they were female. I think it was a female. I think it was a female dressed in male tactical gear with humongous shoes that were too big. If you factor in the height, I don't know. I just feel like it was maybe a female.
I think it was the wife or girlfriend of a police officer.
I think it was a female.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't know. I think that we really need to think outside the box, and that things just definitely are not what they seem in this case. I think that people are looking at things way too black and white. I think the limp is, I think people are putting a little too much stock into that, thinking like, oh my gosh, this person has a limp. They must have had surgery or some kind of injury. I think the person's shoes were just way too fucking big, and that caused them to walk with both feet pointing out.
Right.
But what do I know? I'm just some bitch. Right.
Bitch.
I also found it interesting that in Missy's car in the church parking lot was both her phone and her licensed gun. So whatever was going on at the time, she couldn't have felt that threatened by anyone, because if so, wouldn't you at least bring your phone with you, if not your gun?
Right.
So that leads me to believe that there wasn't any issues with like a random stalker or anyone threatening her in regards to finding out about any affairs. Like, I don't know. I don't think Missy saw this coming at all, because why would you leave your phone and your gun in your car unlocked in a church parking lot if you felt threatened by anyone?
Right. She thought she was the only person there, was probably going to go back out and get her phone.
Exactly. Yep. So I don't know. Whoever did this was fucking smart. They were patient. They were meticulous. They planned ahead. They covered their tracks. And this, to me, is what really makes this case so fucking scary. Like, not just the fact that it's unsolved, but the fact that whoever did this was fucking smart. Like, they just knew what they were doing.
Or they had experience
mhm.
and were trained.
Exactly, yeah.
Or their spouse had experience
Yeah.
and was trained.
Or at the very least, they like were an avid true crime watcher. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
either way, this person, they were no dummy. Like, I don't know. This case keeps me up at night, and I want this to be solved really badly. Like, but I don't even know what it would take to solve this. I don't even know. But yeah,
DNA,
yeah.
probably.
But if you're in the area of Ellis County, Texas, and you have any information or maybe have a guilty conscience going on, give a call to the Crime Stoppers of Ellis County at 972-937-7297 and help bring justice for the death of Missy Bevers.
I'm looking it up.
Okay, so yeah, here's Alicia's live reaction to the surveillance video. And if you guys haven't watched it, you need to, because it's fucking creepy.
Is there sound?
There's no sound.
Okay.
Yeah, so just give your commentary watching this and what you think. Look at the feet.
Hold on.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on it.
All right. The person opens a door, looks in. Is this person? Oh, yeah, she.
You said she, right? That's what I'm
Professionally
saying.
opening- Yeah, it's a girl.
You didn't even think about it and you said she.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's a woman, right?
look at the the pants are clearly too big.
Yes.
Right?
Ill-fitting is what investigators said.
Right, but when I'm just going to keep saying she, but when she turns her leg,
And
Yeah,
it
that's-
looks like the shoes are way too big, right?
It does.
I'm thinking that it's not a limp. I think that the shoes are just way too fucking big. Like clown shoes, like how you would walk in clown shoes
Yeah.
with your feet pointed, you know, your left foot pointing left, your right foot pointing right.
what is this person looking for? Just opening all the doors?
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, I'm wondering if maybe they staged it to look like it was an intruder when they were really going there to kill Missy. Because they randomly like break a window and stuff. Like there's like a glass panel on a door and they break it out. They bust it out.
Yeah.
With the hammer or whatever they're carrying. Weird, right?
Well, at this point, it looks like it looks like the person's in the top corner doing this.
Yes.
But when they move slowly and all you see is their leg to the left, their elbow comes down, that's a woman. You can see it's small.
I know. That's what I think it's a woman.
There's no way it's not.
Mm-hmm. I know. And it's so interesting. Like, the first thing you said watching this was, oh, she. I don't know.
Ooh, Missy Bevers, suspicious car driver and people back seat. Did you see
Yeah,
this one?
they can't figure out who was operating in those cars.
Well,
there
now
was
I'm in the fucking rabbit hole.
This is what keeps me up at night. Like, I will literally go down rabbit holes of this case. Like, this is one of the top cases that I want solved in my lifetime. It's like, I want to know who killed Missy Bevers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who killed John Benet Ramsey.
Yes.
I fairly certain I know what the fuck happened. I just want this person to be outed.
You think it was her brother?
I'm not even going to say, because they will sue the fuck out of you.
Oh, I'm not going to say shit then.
I want to do an episode so badly on John Benet Ramsey, but I will really have to refrain from my personal thoughts, and I'll just have to present it in a way like, here are the facts, here are the theories, here are what some people think, here's the evidence, bam, and not say what the fuck I think, because it doesn't matter what I think anyway. I'm just some bitch. I want to know who killed Missy Bevers. I want the person who killed John Benet Ramsey to be brought to justice. And I want to know I want to know what happened to Asha Degree. Have you heard of that case?
Was that the one she was burnt in a car?
No, it was a little girl that randomly left her house in the middle of the night during a fucking crazy ass thunderstorm and went missing, and no one knows what happened to her. And I'm going to do a podcast on her too.
Okay.
I want to know what happened to these people. Like,
I know.
God damn, it bothers me.
The frustration is real.
It frustrates me so much. And this is why I could never be, a detective or anything, because I would be so obsessed with my work. There's no way that I would ever be able to just walk away from a case and be like, you know what? I got nothing. it's a cold case. Like,
Yeah.
props to them, because that's got to be hard, knowing that you have done everything in your capacity and you still cannot find out who the fuck did it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I would hyper focus and lose my shit.
I would too. I would literally, like, I wouldn't be able to have relationships. I wouldn't be able to have a child. That would be my entire life. I would.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of people that make that
Yes.
their entire life because of that reason, and God bless them. Like, they're stronger than me.
I know.
That's for sure.
I know. But yeah, we thank you for listening. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think it's a female in the surveillance video? Do you think it's someone Missy knew? Do you think it was just an intruder and, Missy it was a, wrong place, wrong time type of deal? What do you guys think? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know, because now I'm curious. And you know what? Watch the video. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's disturbing in just like a haunting type way. Like knowing that this was going on right before a brutal murder. Like this person is just aimlessly wandering around. And like, if it was a robbery gone wrong, why would the person have gone to such great lengths, like wearing police tactical gear? Why wouldn't they have just worn, I don't know, a black hoodie and, a black ski mask like robbers usually fucking wear? Why would this person wear that?
I think somebody wanted her dead, and somebody was trying to frame somebody else by wearing that stuff.
Yeah. Or just to completely throw them off.
But I do think it was a woman.
I do too.
With a lot of rage in her. And I think that something switched in her brain. She wasn't crazy before, but then all of a sudden went crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if this ever gets solved. But I mean, I never thought that the Delphi murders were going to get solved, and Richard Allen was just convicted of the murders. So you just never know.
Never know.
But unfortunately, it usually takes someone confessing, and that's what happened with Richard Allen. So,
well, maybe this person will have another mental break, and I don't know.
One can only hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you. We love you. See you next Tuesday.
But don't be one.
Bye.
Bye.